In this video, I just want to show you how to turn this geometry into a feature. And so that's going to involve defining attributes that we want associated with this geometry, and then storing those attributes with the geometry in a feature object. So I'm going to go ahead and go over to Hello Feature Collection, say construct a feature, and um, paste it in. And so the first thing we're going to need to do is to define the attributes. And we're going to store them in this variable called pond attributes kind of temporarily. And so we're going to use a dictionary to do this. And I'm going to basically create the start and end curly bracket and then start to type this in on different lines just because sometimes I feel like this makes it a little bit easier to see. So we're basically going to kind of define uh, the column names and the attributes associated with that column, but we're doing it in a dictionary format, so it's going to be key value. So the idea is like, let's make something like a column called ID and say that this is our first, this pond that we just drew has the ID of 1. And then let's create another column called name, and let's say that the name of this pond is Hello Pond, comma, and let's create another column called zoom level as opposed to map scale that we digitized this thing at and store 18 and then call it good. So it's, again, I could have written this um, just so that it looks kind of like this. You don't have to change this. I'm going to change it back where we're going to be defining a dictionary where there's a key value, key value, key value. The keys, I'm using strings. The values can be either numbers or strings. And it's all contained in these curly brackets that makes it a dictionary. I just find it sometimes that like white spaces makes things a little bit easier to view. So I'm going to kind of enter it that way for you, where that's our dictionary. So that's our kind of schema with some values, if that's okay. And then now I'm going to use these and attach them to the geometry to create a feature. So I'm going to store the feature in this variable called pond feature, and then I'm going to use, if I go over to here, I'm going to use the EE feature geometry properties method. So I'm going to use this Earth Engine feature method that takes a geometry, and then it takes a set of properties as an object, a dictionary. So let's go ahead and do that. I didn't mean to do slash, I meant that one. So this is going to be equal to EE feature, and then I'm going to say geometry because it's purple because it's linked to here because that's the polygon that we drew, and then I'm going to say pond attributes as the dictionary that stores the values that are associated with this feature. And so yeah, and then I'm going to hit that's okay, that's okay, that's okay. And then maybe here, let's go ahead and look at it, be prepared to look at it. So if I say pond underscore feature, which again, maybe it's better just to do it by double clicking, copying, and pasting. And then I have to say what color I want to use to kind of display this polygon that I just drew. So I'm going to use cyan, which is like an electric robin's egg blue. And but that's got to be curly brackets. And then I'm going to say that this is hello pond, the layer, and then I'm going to say false and hit run. And so what I'm getting here is there's the geometry. It's a polygon. So right, I'm saying hello pond feature is a geometry label. Just prints over here. The geometry is a polygon with that. The attributes are this dictionary that has these three key value pairs, and then the feature is going to be essentially the geometry and the three properties kind of have wedded together. And is that fair? And so then you can, I'm just going to call this Hello Pond feature. This other one that we did over here is Hello Pond asset, just so that I can keep track of them a little bit better here. And I want to tell the geometry to kind of stop being there. And Hello Pond asset was those. And there's my Hello Pond feature that should basically line up, right? It's just the main difference is that I now, when I click on this with the inspector, I have properties associated with um, that feature. Is that fair? And I also, you can probably tell that, let's see, if I turn this on and then click here, um, yeah, I never get, I don't get prints about the geometry. So anyway, all right. Um, so save and good work. We just created a feature and I'm using the kind of table metaphor to describe how it stores attributes. Um, and Cool.